You know, the 25th is my birthday. Comment down below if you get the joke. Anyways, we got a Christmas special today. I've never tried this before, but today we have We Three Kings. And a new pipe. I guess, kind of. I didn't buy this one. This one's actually super cool because it's one of a kind, one ever made. The only one in the world. Inspired by the widely popular Christmas carol written in the US in 1857. We Three Kings alludes to the three magi who traveled to the nativity bearing exotic spices and treasures, delivering rich black Cavendish with equal measures of matured red and bright Virginias, and specially sourced Katerini Turkish leaf. This magical holiday mixture delights with notes of allspice, cinnamon, and vanilla. And on the front we have the three magi. Cool piece of trivia. Before Christianity, there was this religion, which still exists today, called Zoroastrianism. There was a magi back in the day. In the Greek word, magi is actually magos, which means a magician, a wizard, a mystic, and his name was Zoroaster. This was in Mesopotamia. It was thousands of years ago. Some of you are probably familiar with the brand name Mazda, the car brand. Don't worry, it's related. So, Zoroaster had some sort of crazy vision because he left his fellow priests of the time because they were going crazy. There was like animal sacrifices, sometimes human sacrifices in ancient Mesopotamia. He went to the desert. He stayed there for several nights and several days. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Had a vision. A grand vision of a one true God, the All-Father, the All-Mother, the creator of everything and anything, and the God's name was Ahura Mazda. Ahura Mazda. Mazda actually took their name from Ahura Mazda. Now, the tenets of Zoroastrianism are almost completely in line with Old Testament Christianity and basically the big three Abrahamic religions. That's pretty cool. When Zoroaster's peers started to convert over, they were like, what do we call ourselves? We're not priests anymore. They just basically came up with, okay, well, let's just call ourselves Magi, Magi, and the Greek plural for magos. So the three wise men are actually three Magi. So, We Three Kings. Followed by, and I'm sorry I don't have a box to open this in, a pipe I just finished making. This pipe is, I made it out of pear wood. I spent on and off, about 5 hours making this pipe, spread out throughout a few weeks, just casual, doing it after work or before work or something. In between my days. I even have my little Marvelous written underneath there. That's pretty cool. So the story with this goes, this is actually not a bent pipe. It is now, just barely, but if you look in here, you can see this is actually a 90-degree pipe, but I've created this contour here, which it creates the illusion of it being a bent pipe here, so I was like, alright, let's just continue the flow of this pipe. I'm really proud of this, especially down here. Any of you that have made a pipe with hand tools, which, by the way, this is all hand tool except for the drill. It is a 9mm pipe. It's nothing crazy. I have already smoked one bowl out of this just to test it out over the weekend as a little congratulations to myself. The bowl I smoked out of this was East Farthing. And I gotta say, this pipe smokes almost as good as my Savinelli I showed you last week, which is almost undeserving because this is the second pipe I've built in years. Anyways, so that's the pipe we're gonna be smoking out of. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. Myself and my three Magi friends over here would like you to go down in the comment section, leave your thoughts, press the thumb button thing next to the dislike button because they removed the dislikes now on YouTube. That's weird. If you dislike the video, go ahead and dislike it. I don't care. But hey, if you want to watch more of this stuff, especially with limited edition stuff like my one-of-a-kind pipe here that is the only one that exists in the entire world, now you can't have it, then please do subscribe. Hit the bell icon too so you can get notifications when I post. I have a few more tobaccos coming in, about 8 to try out, so join me on my journey of trying to find things that I love and things that I don't quite like. Whoa! Now that's a fun smell. It's not very strong. It's very, it's like, it's kind of cute, you know? So this is what it looks like. It's just rough cut tobacco. Cornell and Deal is pretty much always rough cut tobaccos. But it smells delightful. Tin note is like, this is, if you got a woman in the house that's not a smoker, I can tell you now, all good. All good. You know, this is not plum pudding. This is the polar opposite to plum pudding. This is not by any means a Balkan blend. Yeah, so let me see. Tin note is vanilla, bouncy castle when you're a 5-year-old going to your first birthday party, town fair, honey, maybe a hint of maple syrup, Christmas cookies, light roast coffee, vanilla again. Oh yeah, the cinnamon's coming through just a little bit. Yeah. This is not very complex, honestly. It's the tin note it's fun. I'm starting to smell a little bit of that spice from the Orientals, the Caterini. It's actually kind of dry. I would say it's like ready to smoke right out of the tin. So let's pack a bowl of this and go and smoke it. I don't know if I'm gonna like this one that much, honestly, because I just got a whiff of unlit cigarette, and I do not like cigarettes. I think they're gross. The smell of them, the taste of them, everything. It's not. It's really light. I'm trying to give this a chance, but it's not really loving it all that much. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if it's just Cornell and Deal, but those Virginias definitely have a bit of a cigarette taste to them. The night's nice. I'll definitely revisit this one, but as of yet, not so good. This is it's a bit. It's not even spicy. It's just a bit like paper fire. Like if you light paper on fire, it's kind of cigarette-y, and I don't like that. I don't think I'm even gonna finish this bowl. No, I'm just gonna dump it out. Sorry. I know people talk about this one, but it's not. It just doesn't do it for me. So I'm gonna probably throw it in a jar and let it sit for a while because it's pretty new. That was sure interesting. Yeah, I didn't like that tobacco. To redeem that and finish the video off on a nice note, I'm going to show you a cool trick that I myself am still experimenting with, but pressing tobacco at home. I'm going to do this with 2 tobaccos that I like that are cheaper. One is Sutliff Burma Road, and the other one is Sutliff Voodoo Queen. You need something to press with. In my case, it's a big C-clamp. You need something to press into, which in my case is PVC with a cap and some extra wafers cut out of old tins for backing down here and for above. And I'm using an old 19 or 20 millimeter socket to push down. And you need your tobaccos and to grab some wax paper, that's how I'm gonna do it, and line the inside of it. Make sure you crimp up the bottom too, and then you can crimp up the top, smack it down. I really like Voodoo Queen. It's very haunted hayride-ish. Voodoo Queen looks like it's broken flake, and this is what Burma Road looks like. It's just coarse cuts. I'm gonna take my Voodoo Queen, I'm gonna start breaking it up. If you like tobaccos that are thoughtful or something that you can get lost in thought in, Voodoo Queen is your thing. Alright, I'm just doing this a lazy way. Is this the best way to blend it? Who knows? But definitely got a lot of grassiness in there. So let's just start pouring in. What you do is you do your preliminary finger pressing and you start folding this in on itself. Boom, boom, boom. Put this in first. I have this set up so that it can press the tobacco evenly across the board. So I just have 3 washers here to do that. And then we have our little topper here. This is not going to be a perfect plug. It's probably not even going to be a perfect crumble cake. I don't know how you can mess that up, but I will find out for you. The reason we press these is because it can release all of the oils from each of the different strands of tobacco that are in the blend, and the flavors will start to mold together and do a light fermenting, which can speed up the process of aging it and bring out a lot of sweetness and natural funness. Okay. The key here is to turn until you can't turn anymore. Sadly, we didn't like that one. Not only did it not make the top 10, I would probably say it made the bottom 10. I'm gonna let We Three Kings sit for a while because it is a newer tobacco. It was packaged like 3 or 4 months ago, so maybe the Virginias just need time. Probably just that. But I just, that cigarette-y background, I hate cigarettes. I can't stand it, and if that's the flavor note that I'm picking up, I'm done. I will put it down and say, nope, nonsense. I grew up around cigarette smokers, unfortunately. And I learned to hate it from a very young age. There was just some, like, pungent, spicy, like, I don't know. I remember growing up as a kid, and I'd have, like, head colds or worse, and I had pretty strict parents. You know, they had, you always went to school, pretty much. Didn't matter how bad you were, and it gave me good resilience, but it also was really miserable in times when I had any sort of respiratory infection or viral stuff as a child, because this was back in the time when people used to smoke indoors. It was barely at the end of that. I don't remember my mother stopping until basically my last year of high school. That was when my mother stopped smoking inside. So I can't stand that, you know. Also, being European, they love smoking in Europe. I can't stand cigarettes. I absolutely cannot stand it. And on top of that, I also don't like burleys for that same reason. There's burleys in a lot of the tobaccos that I smoke, but it's just hints, you know. I think that's why I like Balkan and Latakia blends so much, because they're so far removed from what cigarettes smell and feel like that it feels like a completely different tobacco. I mean, it is a different tobacco, but yeah, We Three Kings, 2 out of 10 so far, maybe 3. It is light, I will say that. It's light, it's kind of airy. It reminds me of Virginia Slims, which is what my mother used to smoke, and those are cigarettes. So yeah, I'm sorry that this one, it sucks that this video had to end with that, but hey, at least we got something brewing. Here's a piece of advice for new pipe smokers. You know you like a blend when you can pick your smoked pipe back up with nothing in it after you've smoked a blend out of it that you like, and put it up to your nose, and you're not supposed to love it, but if you still get subtle notes of that same tobacco that you liked, and it kind of gives you that sense of, hey, you know, it'd be nice if we smoked that again within the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna stop babbling. I know some of you might be able to sit here and watch me do that all day, but it's 4 a.m., so I'm gonna go to bed. I know a lot of you are watching this while you're on the can, but if I've somehow graduated to your routine of dinner, then that means you like what I'm doing. So if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? All right, stay marvelous, everyone. Peace out.